it's so important, especially with this film. There Will Come Soft Rains is a film about climate. And when we were making it, we were very mindful to be able to walk the walk. So we had green generators on set. It was vegan catering. Even in pre-production, when we were scouting for locations, we would find locations that were close to each other, so we don't have to drive between locations. So we'd find, okay, cool, so this lake is something that we need, is pivotal in the story. Well, let's find the house close by to the lake, and let's find the bus stop close to the lake. So we were just walking between different sets, which was great because we didn't have to deal with traffic. We didn't have to cause traffic. Even our lighting, the way we lit, we're using environmentally friendly lights, because again, it comes down to, as a filmmaker, I think more and more so now, because the world is changing. Our world is changing so much. And I read something in The Guardian about within 3 years, 3 years is the cap before we're kind of stuck in the temperature rise. And that's a big deal. And I think with the film industry, we do have a huge carbon footprint. So I say this to writers, I say this to filmmakers, try to look at a script. As a writer, you can be like, okay, well, do I need this scene to be shot at night? Because if you have a night scene, you have more lights. If it's pivotal to the story, fine, but then find a way around it. But do I need to, you can kind of investigate at every stage. As a filmmaker, do I need to have so many different locations? Do I need to travel so far? Can I not find everything close by? We were heavily guided by, so the BFI have frameworks for filmmakers who want to be green. So they've got the BFI guidebook. It's online. I'm sorry, I forget the name. But also you've got the Green Rider, which was championed by Danusha Samal and Will Attenborough, who also helped fund the film through Climate Spring. So there's a lot of toolkits out there that can help you make your film green, make your set green. Even in post-production, if you can, try not to travel so much to the edit suite. Maybe you can do it online, you know what I mean? Because everything has a carbon footprint. And I think if we go into that and be more environmentally conscious, it kind of, and honestly, it wasn't that much more expensive to be green. Vegan catering, cars weren't allowed to idle on set. We had a green steward who basically kept an eye on our the culture on set and what we were doing. We had obviously recycling, disposable cups, recyclable cups. So it's a lot of different things you can do to try and do your part. I think, and I think it's really important, especially because the earth is dying, man. You know what I mean? And it's we're in it. We're in it.
I think it's such a good place and space, and I mean, independent filmmaking is a great space for that type of work, for pioneering green filmmaking, for testing things out, for trying to actually make it work. And to be honest, how did you feel about it creatively? Did you ever feel like it kind of stopped you from achieving some creative goals or not, or it actually helped you in a way?
Honestly, like creatively, I'm quite minimal in the sense that I don't require too many setups. I don't like too many different coverage shots. So in that sense, I don't expend as much energy when it comes to lighting, when it comes to crew, when it comes to the different factors that could affect the environment. And honestly, I think the only thing throughout was time, and everyone has that problem on set. Time is always your enemy. You're always up against it, and that was the same on our set. But there was never a moment when I thought, I wish this wasn't a green shoot. Do you know what I mean? So no, it didn't get in the way for me at all.
Okay, let's make it number 5 then.
Yeah.
How do we phrase it?
Be green. I don't know. Yeah,
be green.
Be green in every aspect. I think. Even in our props, we were using secondhand props. We didn't buy anything new. I have a whole list. Can I pull up the list? Because I want to see if I can do it justice.
And to be fair, charity shops is such an amazing resource as well.
Absolutely.
For secondhand props and
for the budget and the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It is insane when you think about it. Like you mentioned, like the planet's dying and the people in control of things don't seem to care. It seems just kind of crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, and again, that it comes down to this fund, and the reason we made this film is because everyone knows about the climate crisis. I can't tell you any facts because I'm not interested in that, because I know we're screwed. But it's the climate crisis. We've had scientists, we've had researchers screaming from the rooftops with facts for the last 4 decades. They've given us facts, they've given us incredible things that raise our eyebrows, but we forget about it. But it's been intellectualized so much, and I think now is the time to bring the filmmakers and bring the artists in to humanize it. Because yes, okay, facts tell us where we are, but man, we love a good story, you know, and it's the stories that will change mindsets. And again, this film was, how do we make a film about climate, but without making it about climate? And it's a film about mourning and about sisterhood and about grief, but tethered to the planet. And again, it's I think there's a test, a climate test for writers, and there's 3 points, and one of them is: does your world, the world that you write, does it exist in a world where climate change exists, and do your characters know about climate change? So it's something as writers that you can kind of subconsciously, kind of really subtly implement into your work. Like I'm writing a play, and it has nothing to do with climate, but there's bits in the dialogue when my characters are looking at old photos of Afghanistan and they go, so, you know, wow, the air was so much cleaner, or look, there's not as much smog. And this is kind of just little things that you can put into your project that allude to climate. And these are all, man, there's a whole like website by the BFI and BAFTA. BAFTA have I'm not doing justice to this. I forget all the names, but it's if you just look up the BAFTA climate workshop, I think you'll find the list. And it's something that I think is a must as a filmmaker now, you know, just as much as dealing with all the problems around the world. That's the biggest problem.
I think our conversation is a good chance for us to link all those resources in the show notes. And
BAFTA Albert, that's what it is.
Here we
BAFTA Albert, and you have the Green Rider. You can check that out as well. And Climate Spring. They all offer toolkits and offer resources for filmmakers to be more green.